Mental health wellness and marriage failure. Hello and welcome back. In this video, I want us to explore something perhaps a little bit tough and difficult to understand. Maybe not just understand, but to accept. Because what we're about to look at right now, you have to be honest with yourself and really keep an open mind to be able to grasp it. So, statistics show that 1 in 3 or 1 in 2 marriages end in divorce. Now, what if I could impress upon you that 90% plus of all those failures are due to mental health issues? Now, that is a very, very bold statement, and maybe you need to give me time to expound on it, and that's exactly what we're going to look at right here. Oftentimes, when we talk about mental issues, the first thing people think about is someone who is senile or schizophrenic or has serious medical conditions related to the functioning of their mind. But the one thing we do underlook is the other subtle, emotionally induced mental health difficulties like anxiety, insecurities, fear, depression, self-doubt, low self-esteem, low self-worth, even self-hatred, and the list goes on, and we fail to appreciate how much these things, though seeming banal, can affect the mental state of someone and thereby destroy their relationships, especially the most difficult, I can say, most challenging of all relationships, that is marriage. When you look at the list of the top reasons why marriages fail, on the top of the list you see basic incompatibilities, then you move next, you see adultery, and then financial issues, and the list goes on, and then you have physical abuse and so on. But when you look closely, you realize that there is an underlying emotional mental health challenge, as we have seen earlier. But our inability to make the connection makes us accept some certain things which normally we shouldn't accept. So we look at physical violence in the home and we call it domestic abuse, as though there is wild abuse. The only thing we know is abuse, physical abuse, and normal people don't go around abusing others. If someone goes out of their way to abuse another person, clearly they have something wrong in them. We may look at anger issues, we may look at esteem issues, we may look at jealousy, but we don't just wash that over and say, well, it happens between couples as domestic abuse. No, it's not cheating. It's a mental health issue. If someone who is comfortable, sane, and fine in their mind, they are contented with being with one person, there are other issues that have to rise in their mind to push them out of the way of doing things that they consciously are aware that is going to hurt another person. So no one is really toxic. They simply have issues going on in their minds that are yet to be resolved. Dr. Miles Monroe is renowned for saying the goal of life is to achieve singleness, and you should never marry someone who isn't single. And he defines singleness as someone who is whole, complete, independent, responsible, with a healthy sense of self-image, self-worth, self-esteem. And when you look at all of that and you really think about it, you're realizing this is simply someone with a healthy mental state, someone who is comfortable in their skin, they love themselves enough, they have dealt with all the traumas and the challenges in their lives that they are able to now express and give out love to another. If someone is struggling with self-hatred, they can't love another person. At best, they will be obsessed, possessive, and manipulative. That is a mental health issue. Now, all of this is not surprising because statistics actually show that mental health globally is easily at its worst today than any other time in history. From unaddressed childhood traumas to substance abuse to personal insecurities or the financial strain of sustaining livelihood, societal pressures, and toxic social media, there is more than enough sources of mental pollution today. And as if that is not enough, thanks to technology and our superficial culture, instead of people getting help for the challenges they are facing, they rather get good at using filters to mask what they are going through. Albeit, so many people are just a few triggers away from snapping. Marriage somehow provides the right environment for that because there is nowhere else or any relationship where you're going to find an intense potential for wonderful love and bliss and joy and happiness, and at the same time potential for hateful, bitter malice. A very delicate balance that can tip in either directions based on the conditions. Marriage in essence is a forge. The two are becoming one. If you take two things and you decide to fuse them together, any impurities in one will be most exposed during the fusing process. But those two things on their own with their impurities, they are fine. Nothing is getting revealed, nothing something is getting exposed. But the moment they are forced and pressed and fused together, the spikes, the pain, the holes all get exposed. This is why it's imperative to take the renowned relationship counselor's advice to heart. Commit yourself to work on yourself to become single, more and more single every single day, and settle for nothing less than another very single person. And though it might seem hard, it's rather easy, because most people are quick to get into relationships, but they are the wrong relationships. Why people who are really becoming single tend to get into just the one right relationship, even though it might take a little bit of time. But that is still nothing, because the moment you're moving towards singleness, it means you're not ready to settle for anything less than your self-worth. So you can see the red flags and walk away instead of feeling insecure of being alone or later on being rejected by everyone else. Instead of just telling yourself, well, who else would want me? Let me just take this. Rather, you are able to build past those negative barriers in your life, in your mind, and emerge appreciating what you are, what you have to offer, and also seeking for the same in others. So if you've ever had someone describe what their toxic spouse did to them, and your first thought was, how on earth did you even find yourself with someone like that in the first place? Which of course is something I think a lot during counseling sessions. Then you understand perfectly what I'm talking about. That's simply you politely asking, how on earth did you end up with someone, in quotes, crazy? Toxic, possessive, clingy, insecure, selfish, abusive, anger issues, greedy, manipulative, disrespectful, controlling, unfaithful, and prideful behaviors often cited in failed marriages are all manifestations of an individual's mental health state. Such people are better off left alone, because to marry them and expect anything different simply because you love each other is the equivalent of playing Russian roulette with a beautiful romance pink custom skin weapon. It changes nothing. Eventually, it gets you. It's just a matter of time. If you're interested to learn more on singleness, then I'll recommend our course Singleness from the Wisdom for Dominion Leadership Academy. The link is down below. You can follow it to apply. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you believe that there is a strong correlation between the emotional mental health state of individuals and their success in relationships, particularly marriage, or not, and why? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel. A big thank you to our patrons for helping us create content like this. You too can support this channel. The link is down below. I'm Bodas Jumesi from Wisdom for Dominion. Thank you for watching, and until the next video, stay blessed.